Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about right now is a huge win for the Amish community, especially for one Amish farmer by the name of Amos Miller. I've spoken about him before, okay? And I am so happy for him right now. A Lancaster judge has ruled that Amish farmer Amos Miller can sell his raw milk to out-of-state customers, denying a request by the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture to prevent him from selling his product outside of the state. Okay, Judge Thomas, and I don't know if I'm going to be saying his last name correctly, Sponaugle, it's Sponaugle, wrote in an order that the Pennsylvania law, which regulated milk sales is for the Commonwealth, does not apply to Miller selling out of state. So this is a win for Mr. Amos Miller, and I'm so happy for him. Now, the judge did say that while the plaintiff may be correct that the Pennsylvania General Assembly meant to prevent any sales of raw milk without a permit to both in Commonwealth and out of Commonwealth buyers, Pennsylvania law regulating milk sales references within the Commonwealth. At the same time, other applicable regulations do not indicate within the public wealth. So in January, if you remember, the Pennsylvania State Troopers, they raided Mr. Miller's Lancaster County organic farm. All right. Now, this comes from a media outlet, and it says that the Department of Agriculture recently requested that the court extend an injunction that was filed in March that would have prevented Mr. Miller from selling his products to anyone, regardless of the location. And the judge also wrote that the court will not blur the line regarding raw milk sales in Pennsylvania and out of state. Miller's Organic Farm, which is located at 648 Mill Creek Road in Bird in Hand, was raided in early January by the state's agriculture department officials after two food board illnesses, one in Michigan and another one in New York, were reported to have originated from Miller's products. Later in the month, he was sued by the Department of Agriculture for selling his product out of state when he was not licensed to do so. This was also stated that Miller is an Amish farmer who has resisted following federal and state food safety regulations. State police said troopers were there to provide security for Pennsylvania State of Agriculture employees who were serving a search warrant. I mean, this is just really, truly sad. I mean, agents are now targeting the Amish when they just live, quiet lives. They don't, they live their own lives. Just leave them the hell alone. And with the feds raiding an Amish farmer's small private farm, and they have Amos Miller, who now faces hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines. He was running a members-only food club. What's so wrong about that? He was selling his products to approximately 4,000 customers who purchased his non-USDA approved meat, eggs, and dairy products. And Mr. Miller believes that he should have the religious freedom to raise and prepare food the way that he believes that God intended, in accordance with nature. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Now, this is according to Lancaster Online. The department asked the judge for specific language to bar all sales, citing a Pennsylvania law that they contended meant no one with out-of-state permit could sell any raw milk, no matter where they live, even though the law references sales within the Commonwealth. Now, the judge wrote in his two-page order, at the same time, other applicable regulations do not indicate within, okay? It's not in or out, it's within the Commonwealth. That word within, that's the key word right there. This court shall not hold the above ambiguity against the defendants. Miller has been the subject of federal and state efforts to compel him to follow food safety rules since at least 2016. In January, the state agriculture inspectors raided his farm after two people in New York and then in Michigan became ill after consuming raw eggnog that was purchased from Mr. Miller. And then the department then sued him in January of 2023 because he didn't have a permit to sell the raw milk and hasn't registered his business within the state, among other alleged violations of state laws pertaining to agriculture. Now, when they raided his farm, if you remember, they said that he couldn't even feed his family. Couldn't even feed his family. They literally red tagged his butt from one end to the other. And it was so, so sad. And they were literally taking all of his freezers out. They took all of his meat. They took everything. They even put labels on juice. It was like, are you serious? You're going to put labels on juice? I watched it all happen in videos. I looked at all the pictures and I'm like, oh my dear Lord, this has got to be, you want to talk about being labeled. You want to talk about being targeted. It was so, so sad. I felt so bad for Mr. Miller. I really, truly did. But now this is a huge win for him. And I am so happy for him. I really, truly am. So hopefully he can get his business back up and running. And I hope he can get back to some kind of normalcy. All right, guys, I'm out of here, okay? I will see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fear less. Ciao.